Did you know that there exists a remarkably strange phenomenon in our world, one that scientists refer to as the triple anomaly? According to this theory, three of the most mysterious regions on Earth, the Great Pyramid of Giza, Mexico's Zone of Silence, and the Bermuda Triangle, astonishingly align along a single straight line on our planet. The Zone of Silence in Mexico is a place where all sound waves and radio signals mysteriously cease to function. The Bermuda Triangle, on the other hand, is infamous a vast expanse of ocean where hundreds of ships and aircraft have vanished without leaving a trace. And between them stands the Great Pyramid of Giza, considered the most enigmatic of all. At 481 ft tall, it once held the title of the tallest man-made structure on Earth for more than 4,000 years. The Great Pyramid of Giza is also the only surviving wonder of the ancient world. Yet, what truly astonishes the world is not just its immense scale, but the near-perfect precision of its construction and the countless unsolved mysteries that surround it. A structure so flawless that even modern engineers would struggle to recreate it today. Built without steel, without machinery, and without the aid of modern technology. So how did the ancient Egyptians manage to construct a monument as precise, down to the very millimeter, as the Great Pyramid of Giza? For most of us, pyramids exist only in Egypt, yet in truth, structures of this kind are found all across the world, created by many different civilizations. Each culture designed its pyramids with unique characteristics and distinct purposes. For the ancient Egyptians, pyramids were built and used as royal tombs, eternal resting places for their kings. These are also the most renowned and mysterious pyramids of the ancient world. Around 2650 BC, Pharaoh Djoser, the first ruler of Egypt's third dynasty, ascended the throne. Djoser longed to create a house of immortality, a place where he could continue to live after death. To fulfill this vision, he summoned Imhotep, a man regarded as the first true genius in human history. Imhotep was not only an architect, but also a physician, astrologer, and scholar of remarkable intellect. It was Imhotep who conceived a bold idea. Instead of constructing a small brick tomb underground as tradition dictated, he would build a mountain of stone reaching toward the heavens, a pathway guiding the pharaoh's soul to the gods. And so, the first pyramid was born, marking the beginning of an entirely new chapter in human history. From there, the concept of the pyramid spread throughout Egypt, inspiring even grander creations, the most magnificent among them being the Great Pyramid of Giza. Giza is not a single pyramid, but a vast necropolis, a funerary complex containing three great pyramids, the colossal Great Sphinx, and several smaller satellite structures. Pyramids were originally constructed as tombs, sacred burial sites for the pharaohs and their royal families. Over time, nobles of later dynasties built additional smaller monuments and burial chambers within the Giza Plateau. Standing nearly 481 ft tall, about the height of a 50-story building today, the Great Pyramid was built from over 2.3 million stone blocks, with a total estimated weight of 13.23 billion pounds. Its four sides align almost perfectly with the cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west. The pyramids of Giza harbor countless mysteries surrounding their construction, their design so precise it continues to astonish even the most skilled modern architects. The first remarkable detail lies in their method of construction. The pyramids were built entirely from massive natural stone blocks, without any binding material, no cement, no mortar, unlike modern building techniques. Some of these stones weigh up to several tens of tons, each carved and fitted together with astonishing precision. Their surfaces were polished, smooth, and placed so tightly that even a single hair could not slip between the seams, rising seamlessly to heights of hundreds of feet. With such a structure, even under the scorching desert sun, the interior of the pyramid remains at a constant 60 miles. This unique environment allows objects inside to be preserved for millennia. Archaeologists once placed fresh milk and produce inside the Great Pyramid. After an entire month, their color and scent remained completely unchanged. It could be said that the pyramid was built to perfection for its intended purpose to preserve the bodies of Egypt's royal family for eternity. Some historical records claim that around 4,000 slaves built the Great Pyramid of Giza. Yet modern research tells a very different story. The builders were not slaves, they were Egyptian laborers who volunteered, compensated with food, beer, and shelter. They believed they were serving the gods, chosen to contribute to the greatest construction project the world had ever known. However, by calculation, completing such a structure would have required far more than 100,000 workers laboring continuously for over 200 years, an impossible figure by any realistic measure. To this day, archaeologists have not identified the precise tools used to cut, lift, and position those multi-ton stone blocks with such accuracy. Some of these stones were transported from quarries more than 500 miles away across rivers and deserts, an extraordinary feat for an era long before the invention of the wheel. Not only archaeologists, but also architects, mathematicians, physicists, and astronomers have all expressed awe and admiration for the mysterious design of this monumental structure. This massive architectural complex is located at the very center of the Earth's landmass, essentially on the world's equatorial axis. Even more astonishingly, the alignment of the Great Pyramid of Giza matches almost perfectly with the true North Pole, deviating by only 0.05 degrees. It is aligned more precisely to true north than any structure built in the modern world. A margin of error so small that even with advanced laser technology, modern engineers would struggle to achieve such precision, and it was accomplished more than 4,000 years ago. At that time, the ancient Egyptians possessed neither compasses, GPS, nor any sophisticated instruments for measurement. So how could they have determined true north with such incredible accuracy, down to a fraction of a single degree? Moreover, the three Great Pyramids of Giza form a perfect straight line on the ground, mirroring the alignment of the three stars in Orion's belt, a coincidence that continues to baffle modern scientists. Even more mysteriously, the Great Pyramid of Giza, the Bermuda Triangle, and Mexico's Zone of Silence, all regions said to exhibit strange magnetic phenomena, align perfectly along the same geographic axis. This is why many have come to call it the triple anomaly, a convergence of 3 points linked by forces beyond human explanation. For more than 4,600 years, the Great Pyramid of Giza has stood firm in the desert, defying earthquakes, sandstorms, and wars. It remains the only surviving wonder of the ancient world. Inside the pyramid, archaeologists have discovered 3 primary chambers, each aligned along its vertical axis. A subterranean chamber lies deep beneath the bedrock. Above it sits the Queen's Chamber at the pyramid's midpoint, and at the highest point rests the King's Chamber, home to the massive red granite sarcophagus of the pharaoh. The ancient Egyptians once covered these colossal stones with a polished white limestone casing, designed to reflect the sunlight, causing the pyramid to gleam brilliantly beneath the desert sky. Over the millennia, the outer casing gradually eroded, with many blocks later removed during the Middle Ages, to build the city of Cairo, leaving behind the rough stone core we see today. Yet the image of the Mountain of Light endures in historical memory, a testament to the ancient Egyptians' extraordinary mastery of stonework and aesthetics. Strangely, however, no mummy of Pharaoh Khufu has ever been found within the Great Pyramid. Where, then, was he buried? Or perhaps, was this pyramid never truly intended as a tomb at all? Before modern archaeologists ever entered the Great Pyramid, the first to explore it were tomb robbers. In search of buried treasures, they ruthlessly broke through its structure, carving tunnels, breaking chambers, and looting priceless artifacts. Yet even so, the thieves could not uncover all of the pyramid's secrets. The pyramid's complex design concealed numerous false passages and hidden chambers, deliberately crafted to confuse and deter intruders. Some corridors were even equipped with traps, rolling stones, or sealing mechanisms meant to block the path of grave robbers. To guard the eternal sleep of their pharaohs, the ancient Egyptians created deadly defenses within their tombs. Venomous snakes were among the most effective weapons used to prevent intruders, particularly in royal burial sites across ancient Egypt. These were deadly serpents, most often cobras, whose bites meant certain death. The Egyptians believed the cobra symbolized the guardian of the pharaoh's tomb, a sacred protector, trained to strike any who dared to enter. It is said that dozens, even hundreds, of venomous snakes once stood watch over the resting places of Egypt's kings. Besides snakes, the Egyptians also used scorpions to punish those who disturbed the sacred rest of their rulers. These fierce creatures, armed with lethal venom, served as a grim warning of the fate awaiting anyone who dared to rob a tomb. Additionally, some tombs were rigged with poisonous traps, a defense system found in several ancient Egyptian burial sites, such as those in the Bahariya oasis of western Egypt. There, the ancients scattered hematite powder, a fine, razor-sharp metallic dust across the floors. If an intruder inhaled the dust, their body would slowly deteriorate from within, leading to a prolonged and agonizing death. In 2001, Dr. Zahi Hawass, an Egyptian archaeologist, experienced this phenomenon himself. While exploring a tomb in the Bahariya oasis, he and his colleagues were forced to withdraw after discovering artifacts buried beneath an 8-inch layer of hematite dust. Besides the hematite poison traps, the ancient Egyptians also devised wire traps, thin, razor-sharp metal cords stretched at neck height, intended to behead any careless intruder. These traps were often concealed in darkness or in narrow passages with poor visibility, leaving victims no chance to react in time. Experts have described this as one of the most efficient and lethal forms of ancient defense. In addition, several ancient Egyptian tombs employed pit traps to stop robbers from reaching the resting place of the pharaohs. Each pit, about 10 ft deep, varied in width depending on the tomb's size and was lined with sharp spikes, blades, or spears at the bottom. It could be said that the pyramid was designed as a vast defensive machine protecting its secrets, not merely as a royal tomb. And through the centuries, no thief has ever uncovered its entire structure. Yet the true danger may not lie in these traps at all, but in something far more intangible, what the ancient Egyptians called the curse of the pharaohs. The most famous story began in 1922, when archaeologist Howard Carter opened the entrance to the tomb of Pharaoh Tutankhamun, one of the greatest archaeological discoveries of the 20th century. At that time, the British Egyptologist happened to pass a crumbled staircase, half buried beneath debris from the young king's tomb. Digging deeper, he uncovered more steps leading to a sealed stone doorway. Just before the entrance, Carter found an inscription written in Egyptian hieroglyphs. "Death shall come swiftly to those who disturb the pharaoh's rest." The joy of unearthing the pharaoh's tomb after more than 3,000 years, buried beneath the desert sands, was short-lived. A series of eerie deaths soon followed, shocking the entire world. The first victim was Howard Carter's beloved canary. killed by a cobra, the sacred serpent of Egyptian royalty. At first, no one paid much attention. But only 5 months later, Lord Carnarvon, the expedition's chief sponsor, suddenly died. Doctors diagnosed pneumonia and blood poisoning caused by a mosquito bite. 2 days after Carnarvon's death, Tutankhamun's mummy was examined, and a red mark was found on the young king's cheek at the exact spot where the mosquito had bitten Carnarvon. At the very moment Lord Carnarvon took his final breath, something unprecedented occurred in Cairo. Every light in the city went out, plunging the capital into total darkness. The cause was never explained. A month later, George J. Gould, a wealthy American tycoon who had visited the tomb, also died under similarly mysterious circumstances. Within a short time, the curse of the pharaoh became a worldwide legend, a chilling reminder of the power and mystery that still surrounds ancient Egypt. Many others involved in the excavation also perished from suffocation, strokes, diabetes, heart failure, pneumonia, poisoning, malaria, all around the age of 50. Within just 2 years of the tomb's discovery, 22 people had died under unexplained circumstances. These deaths seem to echo a dreadful warning, the curse of an ancient Egyptian king's wrath. Rumors spread that disturbing the tomb had awakened Pharaoh Tutankhamun from his eternal slumber, triggering a deadly curse. Those who disturb his rest shall die of an illness no physician can diagnose. According to ancient Egyptian belief, when a person dies, they continue their existence in the afterlife exactly as they had lived in the mortal world. Therefore, they had to preserve their bodies intact to enjoy the divine life beyond death. And those who dared to disturb their sacred sleep were deemed deserving of the most terrible curses. However, scientist Ross Fellows proposed a biological explanation for the mysterious deaths following the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb. Fellows' research suggested that the cause lay in radioactive contamination from natural uranium and toxic substances deliberately placed within the sealed chamber. Exposure to these elements could lead to various cancers, the same illness that claimed the life of archaeologist Howard Carter, the first man to enter Tutankhamun's tomb over a century ago. This theory provides compelling evidence that the tomb was indeed cursed, not by supernatural forces, but by human design and scientific intent. Yet, despite all theories, the mysteries of this ancient civilization remain vast and unsolved, resisting full comprehension. Even after more than 2 centuries of study, the Great Pyramid of Giza has never been completely explored. Thanks to modern technologies such as cosmic ray scanning, scientists recently discovered a massive hidden void above the king's chamber, a space never before detected. Every year, hundreds of research teams from around the world journey to Giza using radar, lasers, and sensors to scan each individual block of stone. And astonishingly, they continue to uncover hidden cavities and secret passageways where no human has ever set foot. These enormous voids, engineered with uncanny precision, together with countless other mysteries, have led some scientists to ask, could this truly be the work of beings from beyond our world? For in an age thousands of years ago, how could humankind have built such colossal monuments filled with meaning and mathematical perfection? And beside the 3 Great Pyramids stands the Great Sphinx, one of the largest monolithic statues ever carved on Earth. Through more than 4,000 years of sandstorms and wars, it still stands tall, the eternal guardian at the gates of ancient Egypt's havens. Many scholars believe that beneath the Great Sphinx lie hidden chambers, vaults that may safeguard the lost knowledge of humankind. Some prophets, including Edgar Cayce, even declared, when the Sphinx is opened, humanity will enter a new era of enlightenment. The Great Sphinx stands before the pyramids of Giza in Egypt, rising about 66 ft high and stretching roughly 240 ft in length. It is among the most monumental sculptures ever created. Carved from a single colossal block of limestone, the Sphinx's body takes the form of a lion, intricately chiseled to symbolize extraordinary power. Its human head is believed to bear the face of a pharaoh, representing wisdom and royal authority. Scholars generally date its construction to around 2500 BC, during the reign of Pharaoh Khafra, yet debate continues. Was it truly built under his command, or did it predate even the pyramids themselves? For centuries, the Great Sphinx lay buried beneath the desert sands, with only its head visible, a haunting vision rising from the golden dunes. The first large-scale excavation began in 1817, led by Giovanni Battista Caviglia and his team. However, it was not until the 1930s that the full body of the Sphinx was finally unearthed, allowing the world to once again behold its majestic form in its entirety. Despite centuries of research, the Great Sphinx remains cloaked in mystery, an ancient riddle carved in stone. These enigmas continue to captivate curiosity and challenge scientists and archaeologists across the globe. Questions such as, who built it? Why was it shaped half man, half beast? And what lies beneath it? Remain unanswered to this day. This fascination intensified in the late 18th century, when a drawing by Vivant Denon in 1798 depicted a man being pulled from the top of the Sphinx's head. At first, archaeologists dismissed it as artistic imagination until the 1920s, when an aerial photograph taken from a hot air balloon revealed a peculiar depression atop the Sphinx's head. This discovery sparked speculation. Could the head have been recarved, or might there be a secret passage leading down into the earth? Experts also noted a striking difference in the material between the head and the body. The body was carved from the native limestone bedrock of the Giza Plateau, while the head appeared to be made from a harder, darker type of stone. Could something buried deep beneath the Sphinx be the last remnant of a civilization long vanished? Over the past several decades, countless theories have emerged about a secret chamber beneath the monument known among researchers as the Hall of Records. According to legend, this hidden library contains ancient papyrus scrolls, stone tablets, and artifacts chronicling the lost history of a pre-Egyptian civilization, and perhaps even the ultimate secret of humanity's origins. Many believe these are merely legends, yet a series of astonishing discoveries has forced archaeologists to pause and reconsider. In 1991, a research team led by Dr. Thomas Dobecki and John Anthony West used seismic instruments to scan the entire area surrounding the Sphinx. The results stunned the world. Beneath the bedrock, they detected a rectangular void located between the Sphinx's right paw and the Pyramid of Khafra. The cavity appeared large enough to contain an underground chamber. New Scientist magazine published the findings, but the Egyptian authorities immediately denied permission for excavation. The Egyptian Antiquities Department declared, "There is no evidence this is a man-made structure. It may simply be a natural formation in the rock." Yet independent researchers strongly disagreed. Many believe the Egyptian government is concealing something, fearing that what lies beneath the Sphinx could rewrite the very history of humankind. Entering the 21st century with more advanced technology, scientists returned once again to Giza. In 1999, a survey team from the Florida Institute of Technology and the Egyptian Antiquities Organization used ground-penetrating radar to rescan the entire plateau. Once again, they detected several hollow spaces of unusual shape, roughly 40 cm beneath the Sphinx's paws. These data were made public, Yet to this day, no one has been granted permission to dig deeper. Is it all true or merely a legend embellished over centuries? No definitive answer has ever been given. Still, seismic scans have confirmed the presence of a large void beneath the monument, deepening the mystery even further. Since the late 20th century, many alternative researchers have proposed a bold theory that the Sphinx and the three Great Pyramids of Giza may be relics of a civilization not of this earth. Some even believe that extraterrestrial beings once descended upon our planet tens of thousands of years ago, bringing with them advanced knowledge of mathematics, astronomy, and engineering far beyond human capability. For centuries, the Great Pyramid of Giza has posed questions that defy scientific explanation. If one were to name the most magnificent and mysterious architectural achievement of humankind, the pyramid would undoubtedly stand as a prime contender. Together with the mummies and the Sphinx, Egypt's grand pyramids have inspired countless films, adventure stories, and tales of the supernatural. Even today, there remains no complete or conclusive explanation for the mysteries of the Great Pyramid. So what do you think about the enigmas surrounding the Pyramid of Giza? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. Thank you for staying with us until the end of this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow our channel so you won't miss the next journey into the world's greatest mysteries. Farewell, and see you again soon.